all mad at me for going blind and not being able to finish his painting. Which a lot of people did get mad at me for going blind and not being able to finish their paintings. But he was not one of them. So tonight, we're working on it. They got a Nazi zombie fighting a U.S. soldier during the Battle of Bastogne, which anybody out there knows anything about history, the Battle of Bastogne was extremely bad weather, extremely cold, and a lot of our soldiers did not have winter gear. Some of them were fighting barefoot. And in this scene, we have this Nazi zombie attacking, and our soldier here must have just gotten to the front because he's wearing his gear, bedroll, which he probably wouldn't be carrying out there, but he was most likely on his way to his foxhole. And it's there's a lot of stories about Bastogne, about soldiers that were hit and then escaped from hospitals to get back out to their brothers in arms. Back when men were made of steel. And a man's word was his absolute bond, and these men were above and beyond, a higher class. Not boys with beards, but men fighting against atrocities.
Jeremy says, "Hey Tommy, I got out of bed for you. Glasses look good." Because Jeremy just had his knee surgery. Awesome. And Shakar says, "Hey guys."
So what I'm doing right now is what I always do. It's a monochromatic wash over the drawing. This is not really taught anymore because you can't do it on a computer. I guess you could, but it would not give the same effect. Now, something else I'm doing different on this painting that I don't normally do is I'm using an extender to give the paint more time to stay wet so that I can move it around more. It won't dry instantly, which will give it more of a oil painting feel, but still look the same as what was requested. This painting was requested to look like a cover I did quite a few years ago. Was it a Freddy Krueger cover?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was painted on this paper, which is, what is this paper again? The Jeremiah?
It's the Strathmore Gemini watercolor paper.
Yeah, this stuff is like gold. If I didn't get this stuff for free, I'd pay top dollar to be able to paint on it because it is just remarkable. Wonderful stuff. And as you can see, there's no harsh line in the paint. And normally, when you're painting with acrylic, if I put it down like this, I won't get that smooth fade. Right there, I'll get a harsh line.
Especially with the watercolor paper. Right?
Yep, especially. So what I did first, before you guys were on here, is I went over this whole thing and I soaked the paper down. I wet the whole paper down first to get the sizing out. And here, that's for all you students out there, everybody wanting to know how to do this. I'm going to stop for a second and show you the palette, tell you what paint I'm using, and then we'll go back. So right here is my new palette that Sammy got me, and it's plastic. Can you see it?
Hold it up a little bit more.
And what's awesome about it is that the paint does not stick to it. So even after the paint dries, I could come back and wipe it off. Now I also wet the palette first. And this here is the extender, and this here is a varnish. Can you see those?
No.
Am I pointing at nothing? Sorry.
There you go.
This here is extender, this here is varnish. This is one of those little clippy on things. And if you're gonna buy one, buy the cheap plastic one.
Yeah, they were
like $1, $3
at Hobby Lobby, and they get a clip.
Yeah. This is what I use to wet the painting. I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. It's just a little spray bottle filled with water, nothing special. And the paint that I'm using is burnt umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and white.
All good.
Okay. Now I dip into the medium and a little bit of water. And don't hold your paintbrush like a pencil.
Like you're doing?
No, hold it further back.
You mean close like a pencil?
Yeah. You want the brush to actually work for you. Let it do its job. Now, at first, I didn't understand this when I was learning it. It was not explained to me very well. But over the years, I've gotten to understand it a lot better. So the colors that we're putting down would make no sense if I was just doing the OD blackish green of this uniform and the OD green of his uniform. But what these tones are undertones. So they're what is seen through light. There's a big difference of understanding light and understanding color. Light changes color. So what we want to happen here is we want to be able to see through the color, and this is our undertone. So when we lay colors on top, there'll be a unity through the whole painting. It'll have a glow. It'll feel more alive. Now, it won't feel like plastic the way that we get when we digitally color. We want to create a luminescence. And I'm using a fairly big brush for this because I don't need the super detail. I just need to wash over. All the detail was done in the drawing. So if the drawing's done correctly, you don't have this. You don't worry about drawing it out with the paint. You're enhancing the drawing, not completing it. Everything should be done in the initial drawing. Remember, whoever draws best, paints best.
Louis says hi.
Hello.
You were in the middle of explaining when he came on. Yes, how Thanksgiving was.
Thanksgiving was great. Nothing like the celebration of the genocide of a people.
America.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure one day they'll have, Holocaust Day. Hell, with the president we have now, we might have that this year.
We're not bringing that up on channel. It is against the rules.
I had to go through all of Facebook and eliminate all the...
Crazy.
Well, there was a ton of politics and angry people.
Sure.
And a bunch of religious crap that I eliminated as well.
Louis asked, did you make lasagna?
Yes, I did. I didn't this year. Sammy did.
It was okay. Tommy's a lasagna snob, so he didn't like it.
Lasagna snob, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I am. When I was younger, my folks owned an Italian restaurant. So I grew up with fantastic American Italian food. Actual Italian food is a lot of fish. Go to Italy and ask for lasagna or meatballs and they'll smack you in the head. Remind you, you're not in America. And this is actually a rather difficult painting to do because so much of it will be white from the snow. And snow is actually a real pain in the butt to paint.
Because it's all white.
Yeah. Be amazed how much purple we're going to use in that white.
Well, snow's not actually white when it falls. I mean, because of the light reflecting on it.
Yep.
Just like clouds. Clouds are all different colors.
No, clouds are just white. That's it. Just white.
Just white?
Yeah, if you just put white on a canvas, that's it. You got clouds.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. So Wyeth had it all wrong then.
Had it all wrong.
All wrong. Got it.
That was a joke. So we're going to switching brushes for a minute.
How was everybody else's Thanksgiving holiday? Turkey Day. Abe Lincoln Political Maneuver Day. Can I let you go now? Will you get down? Can I let you down? You really don't want me to. Oh, there you go.
There's a better question. What were people thankful for? I'll tell you what I was thankful for. I was thankful for all of you out there. All the prayers, all the well wishes, and knowing that I wasn't alone. This has been, if not the hardest year of my life, one of the hardest years of my life. But I have a Sam to keep me healthy, happy. I was blind. Now I can see. I was lame, and now I can walk. If those aren't miracles, I don't know what is.
Shakar says it was good. LOL. Spent most of the day working on art.
I used to schedule nothing but work for the holidays.
Yeah?
Yeah, with my ex-wife, all I did was schedule work so that I did not have to sit with them during the holidays. I did not have to spend my holiday with that family. So every holiday I would leave work, and then on the day, I'd love to come to Thanksgiving with you guys, but I've got to paint. I've got work to do. Now, of course, it's completely different. Now I have an amazing family. For the first time in my life, I have a stand-in mom and dad that actually care about me, actually love me. I've got a wife that far surpasses any other wife.
Louis says, I'm thankful for the slaughter of the indigenous peoples of this land.
Yes. Well, in celebration, we should all put smallpox on blankets and give it to children.
That's beautiful.
What is? My idea?
Yes. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah. Last but not least, the K-bar. I had to draw this K-bar in. It wasn't on the original, and it was requested.
Louis said, just poking at you, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Figured you're healthy enough now, he says.
Yeah.
Oh, let's move this here. I'm going to move the second camera so we can see what you're doing. Seriously? Just move that. Just punched it.
So I'm just going back and forth between about 3 different brushes. My hand is still pretty messed up. So there we go.
Ooh, we got 4 whole people.
Do we have Greg on there?
I have no idea.
Greg, are you on there?
I think he just watches. I don't think he actually is signed up.
I just want to make sure he's seeing it.
I let him know we were going to be on.
Okay, now I'm going to switch over to the brown. The burnt umber.
Morwick, hello, sir. Say hello.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Hello.
But he's now hosting us for 14 viewers, so thank you for the host.
I always love seeing a painting come together. Funny thing is, I still watch it the way you watch it. I have no idea what's going to happen next.
You have no idea?
No. No, that's the beauty of it. Yeah, I want it to be a surprise. What?
Louis says, let's see here. Shai, I said we're only hosting 4 people. You only have 4 people. Shai said, LOL, 4 people is still a party. And Louis says, we should form a gang. I have sweet bow staff skills. Switch. Thank you for the follow. I like how you can't see the rest of his face. Like you only see half his face.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's kind of my tribute to NC Wyeth.
Oh yeah? How's that?
Because he did that all the time.
Where you only saw part of the hero's face?
Yes. Yeah.
Lies says hello. I'm sure he means Liesel. But he forgot the L in his own child's name. Sure, autocorrect. That's what we'll go with, Louis. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't care. So you want to tell him about all the details that Greg wanted in there?
Yeah, this painting had a lot of requirements. We went over the drawing several times.
Mm-hmm.
Many changes. Just to get it right. It was very important that it was very authentic.
Historically accurate.
Yep. So.
We're going to zoom in a little bit. Give you guys a little bit of a better view. Hopefully Tommy's head won't be in the way. There we go.
I like the pack of smokes over here, the Luckies.
The Luckies. There you go, guys. Get a little bit better view. Louis insists he didn't forget his own kid's name.
He just doesn't know it.
Yeah, he just doesn't. Let's see. Nameless asks what medium is being used.
This is acrylic. It's acrylic on watercolor paper.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just shout. Warwick says, cool.
For the most part, if I find something I like, I stick with it. And this happens to be something I like. And people like the way that it comes out.
Are you losing air, Oliver? Morick says, okay, why is my boss a jerk? LOL, just kidding.
I think he's a jerk because of the golden rule. The man with the gold makes the rules.
Louis wants to know, when are you guys coming to Texas?
Second Tuesday of never.
I don't know.
I've been talking to a friend of mine about coming to Comic Palooza.
That's in Houston.
Yeah. But every year I get invited to that show, and every year they
Flake out.
flake out. So
So how would you use the white in doing your underpainting? Because I noticed you haven't put any white down.
no, I haven't needed white yet.
So in an underpainting, how do you use white for an underpainting?
Well, you use it the same way. See, like, if I wanted to build up this is a smooth fade, but if I wanted to have a little bit more, I could come in with the white on top.
Mm-hmm.
Let it set for a second, then go right back over it.
Oh, I see. So more adjusting the...
It's like for making mistakes. If I screw up, I could come back with white and fix it.
Right.
Which it happens sometimes. Sometimes you just lose track of where you are. And you'll be working on something right here thinking that it's one thing. And then when you get it all together, it's something completely different. But that's also why I study the drawing before I start painting.
Right. Familiarize yourself with it.
Yeah. You have to consider I drew this, 4 years ago?
Yeah. At least. No. Yeah.
So,
You did it right after you took the commission, I think.
Yeah.
So the word's gooder today for me. So would you start creating like the texture of the objects with the underpainting as well?
Always. That's where you get all your texture from. It's that underpainting. That's why you see me dabbing it at times. Not just using the brush to put down a smooth piece, but using it to put in texture.
Mm-hmm.
The texture should start with the drawing.
Right.
Okay, I need to move this now.
Want to run the computer? Do you? Stop being nosy.
Yeah, I got asked today if I got this from Dead Snow.
Dead Snow. Oh,
Some zombie movie.
Yeah, the zombie Nazi movie.
Yeah, well, people are stupid and they always have to relate it to something
that they know.
Mm-hmm.
Your head's in the way, my love.
Too bad. Now for an underpainting, I need to let it set. Give it some time to soak in. And that way it doesn't mix directly with our glazes. Okay, I'll flip this over. Switch brushes again.
Hey, headbutt the camera?
I didn't headbutt the camera.
You whacked the camera.
I thought I hit it with the brush. Now the snow is going to continue out past the circle here, but I want to lay in a tone inside the circle so that the snow will appear different from the inside of the circle to the outside. That's not good. That's destroyed.
What happened?
Brush is toast. It's dried with paint on it, I think. Wash there. Yeah, I've been watching these videos of other painters, and I'm just appalled at what I see.
What was the one say? It was an anatomy exercise or something?
Yeah, they just drew the girl in front of them and talked about how...
Oh, that's right. It was supposed to be teaching you anatomy.
Yeah, teaching anatomy. They just had a figure sitting in front, and they just copied the figure. And then they copied Frazetta and copied several other artists.
I was supposed to teach you how to paint.
Yeah. Well, all they do is copy other artists and tell you how genius their school is, because they can copy other people.
It looked like paint by numbers when they did it with the Frazetta.
Yeah. Well, they create a system, and then they go through and they teach you their system, which gives the illusion of being able to paint, but being able to copy other people's creations
isn't painting.
No.
Why are you using the spray bottle as you're painting?
Oh, I'm just so that it doesn't set. I wanna stain the canvas, the paper. So I'm using the spray bottle to keep it nice and wet.
Nameless asked, what are you spraying on the paper? Is it solvent or just water?
Just water. Just water. But like I said, I wanted to give the inside of the circle a different feel. So now when I paint snow and what have you outside of it, there won't be the undertone. And you can see how it looks. Kind of has a cool feel. I'll do the same thing down here. Wet the paper a little bit. And there are ways of doing this. Where I could have used just a big brush and done kind of a Bob Ross thing. But that's not the look we're going for. Because that's not the look I'm going for. And neither way is right or wrong. There's all different ways to get there. The best thing you could do is find your way. Come up with a way that's all your own. And then your paintings won't look like anybody else's. And you won't be a bad copy of a better painter. Don't be a bad me, be a great you. And remember, it's just paint. It's not a miracle. It's not some magical thing. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Who cares?
Just paint over it.
Remember, the master has made more mistakes, has failed more times than the student has ever even tried. And if anybody ever tells you they don't make mistakes, they are lying. And whoever your hero is, whoever you think is the best artist that you look up to and you admire, just remember, they screwed up 1,000 times. As many amazing masterpieces you might find of theirs, you can find just as many failures. But they keep going. That's the difference, the perseverance. That never-ending quest.
What's that for?
Just there's no running water. You can't see it, but it was pooling up. So.
That paper dries really quick.
Yes. It's very absorbent.
Pretty unforgiving.
Yes, it is completely unforgiving. But I like that. I always like that.
Because then you can paint like a samurai. Or you have to paint like a samurai.
You have to. Okay, let's go, let's take a look. I sent the email to my iPad. See if this stupid thing is charged up enough. Yep, there it goes. And then the email has all of the,
That's it.
all the pictures pertaining to this. Yeah, like his. Let's start out with the soldier. So if you see here, I have a resource. Move these bottles out of the way. Put the iPad down. Most likely it'll get wet and destroyed, but I really don't care.
Can't really use it much anymore anyway, right?
No. Apples are a piece of junk. Yeah. I think they're literally made to last a certain amount of time, then they just fall apart. Is that the one? Yeah. That's gonna have to get soaked.
So
it's a perfect brush. It's just.
Is that one of these Skodas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's in it. I think it's the clear coat. Matter of fact, that's probably what's on it.
Justin says, "Where have you been?" Tommy.
Where have I been?
Yeah, where have you been? Where have you been? I make it sound like he's talking like an ex-girlfriend. Where have you been? You know?
Yeah.
Like you were cheating on him. Because it's funny, and it's Justin. I'm going to soak this real quick.
Well, we have been ridiculously busy over here. Got a little sick. Spend time recuperating my hand.
I don't think Justin was around when you told everybody.
Oh, I had a mini stroke. I think it's called a TIA. TIA. I had a TIA, which is a mini stroke, and I was paralyzed on my right hand, my right leg, and the right side of my face. And had to just wait for it to come back. So it was not easy. It was pretty terrible. And we're still dealing with it now. So here, I went to a green. I'm going to see how this looks on top of the soldier.
Jeremy says, "You're cruel, Sammy."
Why?
Because I was making fun of Justin. Saying that it was like, a ex-girlfriend. I just thought it was funny. Oh. Yeah, this coming week you got to do Justin's, all of his remarks. So we get those shipped out.
So you have to kind of find the color. So this is a mixture of OD green, and then it's got a indigo blue wash over top.
Now you switched to...
Oh yes, I switched. Now here's the indigo blue. I switched to watercolors.
Why did you switch to watercolors?
So that I can glaze, and I didn't have to pull out any more acrylics.
Fair enough.
Well, the acrylics will come next. So.
Nameless asks, how long do you think it will take to finish this piece?
On average, a piece like this takes 3 days. So, by Monday.
So you'll be finishing it up on Monday?
Yeah, that's what I
am planning.
Predict. Or at least that's what I hope. You never really know. And I'd like to say it's always, the same, but it's not. Oh, by the way, I'm using a oil brush so that it puts the paint down rather harshly. See, and everywhere that I've left gaps, the color, that OD green just pops right on top of it. Gives it that wonderful feeling. Love that. And a lot of this is just trial and error. Did I know this was going to work? Not at all. Did I hope it would work? Yes. There's no guarantees. And I've done the same thing on different paintings, one right after the other, and it didn't work on the second one. So it always changes. You just have to remember to love the act of doing it. Not the finished painting, not getting to the end. The end is fleeting. Lasts seconds. If you don't enjoy the process, you will go nuts. Because the end comes about quickly and is gone in a moment.
Let's see. Shai says, are you using the watercolor set from last time?
Yes.
I'm going to put the name of the watercolor set because it's actually a Japanese watercolor set.
Oh, I hit the camera.
I noticed.
Well, it's right in my way. So it's going to have to move.
Well, it's a perfect shot of...
Still right in my way. I can't...
Work around it. You want to be a performer? Not everything is perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure that every show out there just lines the cameras up. Doesn't care what they do to the talent.
No. That's why you're getting paid what you're getting paid.
Nothing.
Suck it up. Jeremy says, it's hard to find good talent to work with, Sammy. I know. Such prima donnas.
I'm such a pain in the ass.
So high maintenance.
No, right?
Get me this. Give me that. Give me your kidney. I mean, ridiculous. Jeremy goes, I know, right? Hush up, Oliver.
You see the toothbrush?
Toothbrush. Oh, I think it's over here. Hold on, let me lean over. There's this brush.
Yeah.
Which...
too big.
Oh, toothbrush.
Okay. So, what I've decided is that we need a little bit more texture. So,
Let's see here.
I'm going to take the toothbrush and splotch this up a bit.
Knack is cool, says, it's good to see you drawing again, Tommy. This looks amazing. Big smiley face.
See, we got some texture in there.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. What am I thinking?
The thing that I just read.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about, hey, I was thinking about texture. What do you want?
Let's see here. Knack is cool says, it is good to see you drawing again, Tommy. This looks amazing.
Thank you.
Jeremy says, I want to stick my head in the way. Sammy, I need better lighting. Where's my Starbucks? That's all you.
I hate Starbucks.
I know you do. But it's still funny. Perry, long time no see, you two. How you been? Hanging in there, Perry. Still alive and kicking.
Well, I may be alive. I don't know about the kicking part.
You're still kicking.
So this is, I switched over to a indigo purple. Not indigo.
Dioxanine.
Dioxanine purple.
Jeremy goes, can't just take the Starbucks and be grateful. We all feel for you, Sammy. Jeremy's giving you shit.
I know, right? Everybody's always on your side, though. Trust me, you could have an affair with 18 people.
All at once?
Yeah, and they would still blame me. They'd be like, yeah, well, if you had not, like, you know.
Maybe if you were nicer.
Maybe you were nicer to her, that wouldn't have happened.
He says, it's the meds. He's probably hopped up on nice painkillers. Flying Oliver. Oh, that's why you were crying. When did you sneak in there? Oliver's been crying for like 15 minutes.
Why?
I put him on the bed and Uzi poked her head out. And I was like, when did you get there? You were just in the other room. Uzi teleported. Uzi and Oliver, for those of you that don't know, are our two dachshunds. And apparently the girl, Uzi, is a magician. So you're going to do a glaze of watercolor and then put acrylic over that?
Yeah, for the snow and such. For now, we're dealing with washes.
Let's see here. She says, it's Christina, by the way. The one you guys met at Heroes Con 1,000,000 years ago. I'm drawing too. So fun hearing you two banter.
Is that what we do? Banter, Sam?
Whatever. If what you do is called, considered bantering, I guess.
I'm going to take another look at this Nazi suit.
Yeah, I was about to, when I was putting the title of the channel tonight,
Yeah.
I was going to put Nazi zombie, and do the title. But then I realized the first word you'd see is Nazi. So I was like, maybe let's rephrase this.
Yeah.
So I changed it to Tommy Castillo painting World War II soldier versus zombie Nazi or something like that.
Right. This kind of painting is very awesome because you paint down pretty dark, and then I come back with the white for the snow and really cut it out, and the whole thing will just really pop. I love that. Put a lid on it.
I do like the depth of that sepia tone under the blue and the green.
Yeah,
The
really.
warm under the cold. Very cool.
Thanks.
So, if obviously you're using a lot of cooler colors because your underpainting is warm, could you reverse that? Like if you have a very warm color palette for your
Yeah,
painting,
you can reverse
could
it.
you do like a cool underpainting?
Yes.
What would you recommend? Like a blue or a violet underpainting?
Or like a yellow.
Yellow's not cold.
Yes, but it'll...
So
if
you
I was
put
going to do a cold, I would do like a yellow underpainting.
No, I'm asking what if you're doing a cold underpainting.
Oh, then you're just talking blues.
Are you going to gesso this after or leave it matte? Not gesso, varnish.
I was going to say gesso it?
Yeah, just gesso it. Just white after you're done painting. So it's like one of those giant scratch off. So Greg has to use a scraper and just scratch to find his painting.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
That's actually kind of a funny idea. The kid says hi and to say, you're cool, Perry says. Why isn't she on? What is the kid doing? Nameless asks, is the underpainting orange?
It's burnt sienna. That's sort of a red-brown. And what I'm using over right now is a very blue-black. So more of a Payne's gray. To get the color of this Nazi bastard's uniform. uniforms really appears kind of black, but it's not really black.
What you looking for?
Oh, the red paintbrush I had. I must have dropped it back in here.
Is it in there?
It's alright.
I think it's right there, in that one. What kind of paper are you using, Christina asks.
Answer.
He's using the Strathmore Gemini paper, watercolor paper. I think it's the Gemini. I think is 300 series, and it's the 150 GSM. So
it's actually mounted onto foam core.
Yeah.
So we glued it down to foam core.
Cold pressed as well, not hot. You prefer cold pressed, right?
Yeah. Well, cold press is better to paint on. The hot press is better for ink.
Right.
But not necessarily better for paint. I like it to have more texture. What were you going to say?
That's what I was going to ask you. She says, thank you.
Yeah, on average, these paintings take 3 days. Yeah, and that all counts on how crazy I go with detail, if there's any issues. You know, over the years, I've had all sorts of things happen. You know, I've painted on paintings and woke up the next morning and the paper completely released and fell apart. I've had paint, you know, come apart, beat up, crack.
Like the motorcycle?
Yeah.
That sucked.
I was painting $120,000 motorcycle.
Yeah, custom motorcycle.
And the paint was just cracking and having a chemical reaction, falling apart. It was terrible. And the people that paid flew from England to be here, to sit in my house and watch me paint it.
Yeah, they did.
So as this paint was coming apart, I had clients from all the way across the damn world sitting there watching every one of my mistakes happen. It wasn't the paint's fault, it was mine. I was doing it wrong. But I was kind of learning on the job at that point.
Let's see. Arkham says, "Good day, Tommy. Long time no see. Fantastic to see you're looking really well. Picture looks great."
Thank you.
Nameless says, "You painted on the motorcycle?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I airbrushed the motorcycle. It was the ferryman on the top of the gas tank, and then
I'm trying to move this out of your way.
a demon on the back with the Cerebus, and then souls all around the. There's that paintbrush. All around the oil tank. It came out in the end awesome. A But man, was it a nightmare.
Let's see here. Glim says, "Hey Tommy, it's Billy and Lisa. Just saying hello."
Hey. Hey, Bill. Hey, Lisa. Billy was pretty much my best friend in high school. We sat at the front of the art room all day and drew and got in trouble. And Lisa was really pretty. I remember Billy liked her a lot. And I said I didn't think she'd go for it. She wouldn't date him. And they're still together. That's awesome.
Let's see. Nameless says, "Have you painted a lot of motorcycles?"
No, I wouldn't say I painted a lot. I painted more than I wanted to. It's the motorcycles have always been my, my release, my relaxation. And then I got offered a stupid amount of money to paint a bike. So I took the job, even though Sammy said not to. I foolishly took it anyway. I should have listened to her. Because it was a nightmare from beginning to end. I mean, we got to meet some really cool people.
That's when I put wifely foot down.
Yep, so we don't take motorcycle commissions anymore. I don't paint motorcycles anymore.
Unless, it's ours.
Yeah, well, I work on our bikes. But our bikes are more three-dimensional sculptures than paintings.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the new paintings for your panniers.
Well, I'm going to be doing that.
I thought I was doing it.
You're doing one, I'm doing the other.
Oh, all right.
Let's see here. Billy and Lisa said 30 years now.
30 years. Congratulations, brother. That is rather awesome. I am extremely happy for you. And I hope to one day see you kids again.
Let's see here.
Well, it's not fair. You get to come into my house, look, see my stuff. Of course, I'm doing the same damn thing I was doing all those years ago. I just get paid a lot more for it now. And I don't have to beg anybody to take the paintings.
Let's see. Christina linked me to her art and said, "No more anime style for me. Thanks to you guys, you guys' encouragement."
That's excellent.
And then she says, "Yay! This is getting me so inspired." Hold on, I'm pulling up her arts. Her art. Oh, look at that! Oh, very nice.
Let me see.
Okay, hold on.
Excuse me while I look off screen.
If you can see that.
Oh, those look excellent.
Hold on, she had a face. Can you see that?
Yeah, see, now that's great.
And
Wow, that is so funny. That drawing of that guy's face
yeah.
looks exactly like one of my old students, Tom. Like,
There's more.
that could be a portrait of Tom.
Let's see. Look.
Fantastic. Way
Look,
to
it
go.
tells a story. Yay!
Way to
Oh,
go.
look at the robot. The robot's awesome. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I'll send you the link so you can look at them more when you're not on stream.
That's great. I'm very proud of you. That's awesome. Doing wonderful. Keep going. Practice, practice, practice. Makes all the difference in the world.
Sure does.
And nobody becomes great overnight. Takes like a whole weekend.
I'm going to lower this camera a little bit. See a bit better.
Now the watercolors.
Son of a...
The watercolors also, they're not going to be very sharp. I'm not going to get, but I'm going to come back in with acrylic. and sharpen anything up that I want. And since his uniform is the OD green, into the shadows here, I'm just going to wash in a little red.
Oh.
Which will change the green of his uniform. It won't actually change the color, but our eyes, when we look at it now with the red around it, will perceive the color as different.
Hey, Greg's here. He says, hey guys, Greg here. Looks great.
Hey, Greg.
Where were you, man? You missed like 30 minutes already. An hour.
Greg is the owner of this painting.
Everyone say hi, Greg.
Funny thing is, talking to my old friend Billy and
Wife had
Lisa.
me tied up. Literally? Just escape the bonds?
I was talking. I was going to say, the interesting part is, years ago I would paint stuff and it would sit around for months, if not years, waiting for a home. So I would grow attached to the paintings. And they're like, kind of like your kids. And now, I don't think I have a painting in my studio more than, a couple of days after it's done painting. By the time it's done painting, somebody owns it. And it's on its way out the door. It's a different feeling. It's wonderful, but it's kind of strange as well. You spend your whole life painting, hoping people would like your paintings and want them. And you go through your life trying to sell them, trying to get people to think that they're worth it. And then when you get to that point in your life where everybody wants the painting so much that they won't last a few days in your studio, they don't even get finished painting by the time somebody owns it. I never thought I'd have that problem. And honestly,
that's an excellent
it's
non-problem.
Not a problem. That is not a problem. It's just strange. Wonderful and strange. I only wish my grandmother was around to see it. Definitely one of my only supporters. The only one that thought I could actually do this. Always gave me confidence, encouragement.
Greg says it's a good problem to have.
Now when I come back into his face with the acrylics, his face will just really super pop. So we really want to just get a good wash in. And I'm using yellows and orange over him. I don't like zombies to just be green or the mottled brownish black.
Gray.
Yeah. I like to think about it as flesh rotting. And if anybody's ever seen flesh rotting, it has all these wonderful tones. I need more paper towel, please. We're out. We need to go out tomorrow and buy some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need another box of rags. Nothing like drawing scary things with pretty colors.
It's the best way to do it.
It's my favorite way. So I did a yellow, and then it's kind of a yellow, a cadmium yellow. Sorry, I'm trying to use the proper colors, the proper terms for the colors. I have a habit of just saying I used orange. And the truth of the matter is, according to the company, a color can change drastically. Cadmium red in one company will look completely different than it does in another. So I never really got used to calling them, essentially by their surnames. I like referring to them as a dark orange or a light orange or a bright yellow. It makes more sense to me. I always got a kick out of the paint snobs, though. People that would know everything about the paint, yet can't paint.
Are you referring to someone in particular?
Oh, I don't know. Do we happen to know somebody who knows everything about paint, but yet can't paint? Maybe. Welcome to an in-joke. So right now, the paralysis on my hand, excuse me, I don't know if you can tell that I'm having any difficulties with my hand. Can you tell?
Not really. No. It's very controlled. You probably feel like you're not controlled at all, but you're very controlled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like the way this is looking, though.
I do as well. I like when you paint on the watercolor paper.
Yeah?
I like those paintings.
Yeah, me too.
They look more interesting.
Well, they're very unforgiving, so they tend to have more character.
Why are you spraying your palette?
My paint was getting dry. I like the paint to be wet. I'm painting with water, so I like to use water. Painting wet into wet, so that way it blends better, is more translucent, and gives a better overall emotion to the paint than just being dabbed on there.
Jesse, finally here. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything huge?
Yes. Metallica played.
Yeah, we had Metallica.
There was a knife fight.
Yep.
I lost.
It's because my knife skills are far more superior.
And what
like a ninja.
Remember, painting is about emotion. You know, it's not about putting paint down on paper. It's about evoking an emotion. It's about going somewhere in time, in history. You know? So when I say that the paint evokes a different emotion, you know, ideally that's what we want. I don't want you just to see a monster fighting a guy. I want you to feel a man fighting for his life against a creature. And if there's no emotion to it, it's just bad acting. And we've all seen those movies. You don't cheer them on. You don't freak out when somebody dies. You don't feel anything. You know, unfortunately, that's what we have a lot of today. There's a world of not feeling anything, not caring. Sad. What?
Greg says, I really love this concept of how you have the image coming out of the frame using the circle device. How did you come about this idea? Or is it something you have used for a while?
I didn't come out with it. Bonicelli did. And it's about knowing your past. Knowing the history of art. Nothing is new. Everything has been done already. Nothing I do here is new. It's all been done and probably been done by better artists than I. But I am a student as much as I am a teacher. And I try and learn as much as I can. And I learn from the past. You know? Great men and women have painted throughout time. And we lose something when we forget the past, when we don't study it, don't appreciate it, respect it. You know, this has been done many times. You'll see this circle template in a lot of Art Nouveau. So
you switched back to your underpainting colors now?
Yep.
Jesse says Metallica rules, and we all know about Sammy's ninja skills. He says, and I love how you always do historically accurate uniforms, i.e. correct World War II helmet and webbing, bedroll, German hat, etc.
Well, I'm a history buff. When I was in high school, Billy, do you remember Mr. Collins? There was a wonderful history teacher named Mr. Collins. And he brought it to life for us. He was awesome. Kind of crazy. You know, and he would explain it to us in a way that you were there. He was a genius. The man was fantastic. And he made me want to know history. Want to really understand it. So when I do anything, when I do a painting, doesn't matter if it's a commission, if it's for a project, whatever, even if it's just for me, I know everything about it. I know all about the Battle of Bastogne. That may not mean anything to anybody else, but to me, that's where this is taking place. So it changes things. the trees were getting, they were shooting artillery, they were shooting so much, what's it called?
Artillery.
Thank you. They were shooting so much artillery that the trees were getting blown to pieces. And guys were getting caught up in shrapnel from the trees being blown apart. And I know that the soldiers were freezing to death. So not only were you in a foxhole, terrified of what was going on 100 yards away, you're freezing to death. Lots of times soldiers wound up shooting one another with friendly fire, at night. So I make sure I know all these things.
Billy says Cotty.
Yeah.
Is that like the teacher's nickname?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Greg says it really gives a three-dimensionality to the page. And then he said tree bursts.
Yes, tree bursts. But I tell all my students they need to know everything about what they're painting. Sitting down and jotting some crap down to throw down on a canvas to try and make another buck. It's not how you make a career. Nobody gives a crap about that. And they will leave you in the dust. I want people to love the paintings. I want people to love what I do. And if I don't love it, and I don't show respect to it, and to what I'm doing, why would anybody else? Right, Sam?
That's correct.
And the last thing, we're going to flip it over. There's an eagle with a Nazi flag in his mouth up there. So we have to get that. But I wanted to get some more of the underpainting that I didn't get to. Now, it's quiet in my studio, but normally I'll have the stereo going. I'll be on the phone. Watching a movie. Painting to quiet, I actually hate.
Well, you can't.
But we have to be quiet. We can't have
copyright
music because then they'll take my audio away. On a side note, in January, I'll be recording a Christmas album with Dirk Strangely. And Sammy will be on it. And Elaine.
And why are you doing this?
Why am I recording a Christmas album?
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to make music. And we're recording it for kids. The kids. Dirk's kids. Eventually our kids. And why not?
Yeah, I agree.
If it sounds terrible and it's horrible, then it'll just be something for us to laugh about. But you never know. It might actually come out great. Until you try, you never know.
Very true.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to watercolors. Oh, my hands all. Could you come over here for a minute and squeeze my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to wet the paper a little bit. And I'm just going to come around with this. I'm doing it on the wet board so it doesn't get any kind of line. And, you know, painting with the spray bottle, notice there's drawings taped all over my table. Just stuff that I like, inspiring pictures of me and Sam and some workout guy and stuff like that. It all gets covered with paint. It all gets covered with water. It does not survive well.
Jesse says, I was thinking, finally, Dirk Strangely and the Castillos doing Christmas songs. That has to be some morbid songs like Oh Scary Night or Little Town of Deathleon. Deathleton. Then I hear, it's for the kids. LOL. So I guess he was disappointed.
You know, we haven't actually decided yet exactly what's going on in the album. That's a cool greenish, bluish green. Okay. So now we gotta let it sit for a little bit. Let it dry. Oh, let's do the eagle. I'm just gonna paint the eagle upside down. Eagle's right there. table up a little bit. That's better. And it's an eagle with the Nazi flag in its mouth. And it's tearing the flag apart. Yeah, one thing I noticed about other channels that do painting shows, they don't actually show you them painting. You know, they show you the guy setting up the paint, and then they say, okay, well, we're going to paint this, and then it's painted. I'm like, okay, now that you've done that, not very helpful. Of course, I also heard, from several people that if I do this, people will learn how to paint like me and take my jobs away. What?
I just think that's silly.
I think people live in fear. And they use it as an excuse.
Oh dear. Shai says, are you going to use colored pencils toward the end?
I doubt it. I don't think so. But you never know. Most of the time people use the color pencils because they can't get what they wanted with the paint.
So you're giving this more of a full painterly feel as opposed to one of your mixed media paintings.
Yeah. I'm doing it exactly the way that he asked. The other one didn't have color pencils.
Yes, it did.
I don't think it did.
Yes, it did.
No, I don't think so. But you never know until you get to the end.
Jesse says, yeah, that's my goal. I'm out to steal Tommy's jobs. Give me another 40 years to catch up, will ya?
I'll wait for you.
You'll be 85.
No.
Almost 86.
I won't live that long.
You promised me 32 years. You have 29 to go.
Yeah. We'll see about that. I'm hoping I'm making it till January.
I'll download your brain into a cyborg.
That's
Okay.
fine.
You could look like Bato.
That's fine.
Either of them. They're both very cool looking.
Okay.
Oh, that. Damn it. Christina says, Tommy would make a great bateau. See, I thought so.
Which one's Bato?
Ghost
in the Shell, right?
Yes, either Ghost in the Shell or Appleseed. I was making a reference to both. And both are kind of the same exact personality, except Bateau in Ghost in the Shell is human-ish. And then...
Yeah, he's got the eyes.
Yeah, short hair eyes. The badass.
Mm-hmm.
And the other Bateau is as equally badass.
Yeah, but he's got the ears.
But he's all robot.
Mm-hmm.
Have him yell, Sammy! I'd be okay with that. I'm going to switch that so we can see a bit better.
And there's also a lot more subtleties in the original than you'll see on the screen. But that's the difference of owning an original, to owning just a print or I think one of the hardest things to learn was just how much paint to put on the paintbrush when you're working.
Sorry, I'm talking to somebody about an order. Ooh, fancy.
What?
And I stepped away because I had to talk to somebody about their order. And I was looking up information in the print shop, and I came back, and there's all sorts of pretty colors.
colors. I could come in with a really opaque, paint it in like the acrylics. And we want that rich black, so we're going to do it with purples, blues, some reds. What kind of order?
The Batman commission that you added to, remember, from eBay?
Yes.
And he was he lives in Singapore, and he's got it needed to be, he's got it like getting forwarded somewhere like to him. So I was discussing shipping, that's all.
Oh.
But
Singapore, huh?
yeah, he has his has it being forwarded to him, but I don't, so it's getting reshipped with a bunch of other stuff. And I told him that if that's the case, I'll just ship to him directly, to Singapore, because I would hate for it to get repacked and damaged.
Yeah.
So I told, and he waited and was very patient in getting it. Mm-hmm. So I told him that I would just ship it directly to him, so that way it doesn't get damaged, and I know how to pack for international shipments. And he was happy with that. He said that's cool.
What do you do in Singapore?
He's not watching us.
Oh.
It was through Facebook. I was talking to him.
I wonder what he does in Singapore.
I don't know.
Now you bastards.
What happened? Oh, you got a little rolly.
Some blood. It's alright.
I love having... Oh, Jesse says, my last couple paintings I have done with no straight black. I was surprised at the difference between two black and like Diox purple and sap green mix.
Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it?
And for those of you on, I know if you're not on our Facebook, jump on our Facebook. The link is underneath the video and the channel. But we're also doing a Black Friday sale on our prints from yesterday through Cyber Monday.
What's Cyber Monday?
Cyber Monday is just the Monday after Black Friday. All of the online stores do special deals that you can't get in the store.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go in a little tighter.
You gotta show me your paintings, Jesse. I'd like to see them. I'm gonna lower this a bit so we can see. Ouch, my knee.
I got a little bleed on the top of his hat, but it doesn't matter because when I do the snow, there'll be snow on top of his hat. But you'll get rid of that little bit of oops. Let's get on some real red eyes. Okay. Now we're going to go back to acrylic. And I'm going to pull out a few more colors. So what I grabbed is a green. And it's kind of a lemony green there.
Let me see it.
Okay.
I know you didn't give the title because you couldn't read it.
Yeah. Well.
NA Artist says, "Hi, I love comic book art."
What comic book art?
Just comic book art. This back up. Are you going to be painting on the ledge or are you pulling it down again?
What?
I was just going to adjust the camera if you're going to keep it up there because it's a little low. Because you were painting on your lap. That's what I was asking.
Oh, I'll be moving it back down.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I told Jesse to... let's see, here's a Harlequin deck.
Okay. So, let's play around a little bit. Now, some artists will work out all of the tones, like the skin tone here, on the side separately. I like to mix mine right on the painting. Again, it's a lot less forgiving, but I don't care about that.
Looks good. Interesting that it seems the Germans having zombie troops has become semi-canonical in the weird war genre. X says that. Let's see.
I need some bread.
Let's see. It doesn't want to work. Jesse sent me pictures. Cooperate. Let's see. Just do this. Copy. Moose and Squirrel. I like the mask. Huda eyes. Snidely Whiplash. He's doing all the Saturday morning cartoon characters. Old ones.
Cool.
Yeah, look. What was the last one you did? They're great, Jesse. I'll show Tommy when he's done. More messages below. Thanks. Ooh, I love that red in his eyes. Creepy. How you liking it so far, Greg? You hit the 2-hour mark, just to let you know.
Did I?
Yeah. Greg says, fantastic. And then capitalized, fantastic. Jesse, Shakar says, just wondering, have you guys ever used Faber-Castell Polychromos? The Faber-Castell colored pencils.
Yeah, I don't really like them.
And Greg says, I'm stuttering, LOL.
So we're at the 2-hour mark?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're probably going to close up shop for the night. And I'll be back on this tomorrow. Let's do a little bit of a zombie face and then we'll call it a night. Move this table down.
I like the gun. Is that gunfire coming from inside the circle into his back?
Yes.
Okay. I like that. That's what I figured it was. That white really just pops. You're using white, right? On top of that?
Mixed with other colors, but yes. Think of it more as an opal.
Mm. That really makes his eyes sink in and pop. I didn't see what color you pulled. That's why I was asking if you were using just straight white or...
No. It's not straight white.
Greg says, after 4 long years of waiting, I finally get my Christmas present to myself. With a big smiley face.
Well, I hope it was worth the wait.
Can you tilt your head a little bit to the other direction? Thank you. See? I say it nicer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm going, head, move, like that. Which is funny. Not very nice, though.
I'm using that cheap brush I got from Hobby Lobby in a pack of like 5.
Oh, yeah. How's it paint?
Fantastic. I actually want to go get more.
Yeah, it's in the model section. They're model detailing brushes.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a pack of 5 for like $6 or something.
Yeah. I love painting soft tissue damage.
Mm. Louis laughs and says, ha ha, so I married an axe murderer reference. When I said, head, move.
Mm-hmm.
Only the best here, Louis. Only the best. We're classy people, after all.
Yeah, that's us.
Louis says, you know it.
Oh, like somebody's here.
No, it's people next door. Is the human soldier Scottish? Louis asks.
No. Why? Why would he be Scottish?
I don't know.
I'm asking you, Louis, why do you think he's Scottish?
Because if it's not Scottish, it's crip. He's making a joke.
Well, you've stayed your hour. Fuck off.
Nope. Language, sir.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did.
Wasn't me.
You are not allowed to use those words. Thanks for the follow, Christina. You get a little song. Faux Bandit laughs.
My maul stick, please.
Yeah. I shall maul you with it. You are, sir. Good job. Way to punch the camera with it. Louise says, Tommy said a wordy dirty. Gotta say it like a little kid, too. Where's my Oliver? Oh. Did she go back up there? Well, if you learn to go up steps, you won't have a problem. Here. Up. Up. Come on. You can do it. Come on.
It makes no sense. He grew up in a house with steps.
He doesn't like going up them. I don't know why. We have steps to get up to the bed for the dogs to jump up on the bed, like 4 steps. And our boy Oliver just refuses to get up them. He refuses to go up or down. He just sits there freaked out and scared, like, steps aren't supposed to be here. Such a weirdo.
So this is impasta painting, where I'm painting thicker on top. And it just looks super cool.
Jesse says it's so much easier to train your human. Yeah, he definitely has. I call it the doggy elevator. Hey, Uzi. Wow. Come here. What you doing? What's up? Teach him to go up the steps. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Funny thing is, he taught her how to go up steps.
Maybe it's his hips. just doesn't.
All in the hips.
It's all in the hips. I don't know. Hi, Uzi. Come here.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions before we call it a night?
If you have any questions, ask Uzi. Right there. Ask the dog.
All right,
She's not touching you.
you just kick the chair.
She kicked the chair.
Anybody with anything?
Not yet. Bobby! When will you be on tomorrow?
I would imagine around the same time, 6 or 7 o'clock.
Probably earlier, I would think.
Yeah.
Probably earlier. Christina, normally we try and stream regularly, of course, but with Tommy's health, it's hard. But we've been doing it Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday. Usually at 7 at night, for about 2.5 hours or so. But we might be doing it a bit earlier. Right?
Yeah.
You want to start doing it earlier? But if you jump on the Facebook, and this goes for anybody that's new to the channel, all of the information, again, is in the channel under the video. Jump on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us there, because I will announce earlier in the day, a couple hours before, whether or not we will be streaming, because some days it's good, some days not so much. And like I said, and I'll announce the time on there as well. But normally it's 7-ish, but like I said, we might be starting it earlier. But I want to see Fantastic Beasts tomorrow. So that has to happen. Husband of mine. Christina says, let's see here. Okay, thanks. I'll look up for the notifications. Thanks for sharing. So much fun to watch.
Oh, you're welcome. I live but to serve. Okay. There's no more questions. Have a good night.
Louis says, can I use guys?
And we will see you kids tomorrow. Happy painting.
Good night, everybody. Any final words?
Nope.
All
That's
right.
it.
Jesse says, Nighters, thanks, Tommy. Really appreciate you getting this done. I am a patient boy. Let's see. Jesse says, thanks, Tommy and Sammy. See you tomorrow. Good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Say good night, Tommy.
Good night, Tommy.